everyone. I'm BREA Hollingsworth.
And I'm Giselle Thomas. Happy Friday, everyone. Let's get started. A Tallahassee man was arrested on sexual assault charges. 32-year-old Elvis Trotman was arrested Tuesday and accused of forcing himself on an incapacitated woman. According to arrest documents, Trotman met the victim on Saturday night at a nightclub in Collegetown and gave her a ride home. Trotman was at the victim's house with her friends when the victim fell asleep. The victim told police that she later awoke to Trotman sexually assaulting her and was unable to push him away. Court documents show Trotman was out of jail on a $40,000 bond after being arrested in 2015 for sexual battery on a helpless victim.
The Florida State University Police Department is looking for 2 suspects in an armed robbery that occurred near campus overnight. Police say the incident happened around 12:45 Tuesday morning in the 500 block of West College Avenue. 2 FSU students were walking in the area as the suspect approached them from behind. The victims told police the suspect had a gun and demanded their personal belongings. Police say next the suspect got into the passenger side of the vehicle and left. The students were not injured in the robbery. FSU PD is actively investigating this case, and anyone with information is asked to call the FSU police. That number is 850-644-1234. And Halloween is just around the corner, and police want you to take precautions with candy. News 20's Ty Slidell has an interesting story that deals with both candy and bath salt. Ty, what can you tell us?
Well, BREA, Franklin County Sheriff's Department warns parents to check their children's candy for Halloween. 2 cases of drug candy mixtures occurred, and the latest are bath salts. Last week, 2 suspects were pulled over after running a traffic light. Deputies say that the suspects had what appeared to be candy, and it was mixed with bath salts. Now, the mixture looks similar to rock candy or Jolly Ranchers, and according to the Franklin County Sheriff, 80 grams were included in the drug and candy mix confiscated. The 2 suspects face a warrant with trafficking charges and an arrest for another charge. Franklin County is asking parents to report anything suspicious in their children's candy bags. Deputies are still investigating the mixture while also looking for the second suspect. Live in the studio, Tyandra Slidell, News 20.
Thanks, Ty. And speaking of Halloween, News 20 multimedia journalist Raven Gaines shows us how to be safe. Hi, Raven. So what can we do to be safe? We know that the trick-or-treaters are ready for this report.
Hi, Giselle. Yes, I spoke with one person who says she's always concerned about her child's safety during Halloween or any time of the year. Candy, costumes, and a lot of spooky things. Halloween is just days away, but everyone may not know how to stay safe. Lakeria Say tells me how she plans on keeping her children safe this Halloween.
The way I plan to keep my babies safe during Halloween this year is to stay close, actually. I'm going to walk with them. I'm going to make sure they're not in no dark areas. Make sure they stay where the lights at, with the houses with the street lights. We're not going to no dark houses this time.
To ensure that everyone has a safe Halloween, the Leon County officials has provided safety tips for the community.
So we're going to start with costumes. With your costumes, you want to make sure that they're flame resistant or flame retardant and tighter fitting. You don't want any long or loose flowy costumes. You want to use battery operated candles or flashlights for your jack-o'-lanterns. You don't want to use flame candles if you can avoid it. You want to teach your kids if their clothes do catch on fire to stop, drop, and roll. So make sure that you teach them that. Keep your entryways and sidewalks clear of hazardous items so that there's no trip hazards. If they're going to parties at a friend's house, have them, search for exits and things like that in case of an emergency. Crossing the street, cross in large groups, look both ways. Just really be careful. Try to wear lighter colored costumes and not the dark costumes so that you can be seen. Like I said, always carry a flashlight. The Tallahassee Fire Department is also offering trick-or-treating from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at all 16 stations, so you can stop by one or stop by them all for a safe and happy Halloween experience.
If you're looking for a safe place to get treats and not trick or treat with deputies is tomorrow from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Governor Square Mall parking lot between Dillard's and JCPenney's. Live in the studio, Raven Gaines, News 20.
Thanks, Raven. 2 men are facing charges after they stole lawn equipment and, get this, from Leon County schools. 25-year-old Stephen Hill and 36-year-old Billy Page face charges of grand theft and dumping after they were captured on surveillance video. It happened at the district's Tharp Street maintenance facility. Due to previous thefts at the facility, the district decided to put tracking devices on the lawnmowers. That led officials to Hill's home. Hill was arrested and questioned. According to court records, he admitted to stealing the lawnmowers. The total of the stolen equipment was estimated at $50,000.
Coming up on News 20 at 5.
A luncheon for domestic abuse awareness is on its way. We have that and more when we return. Stay tuned. You're watching News 20 at 5.
Happy Friday, everyone. I'm Giselle Thomas.
And I'm BREA Hollingsworth.
You're watching News 20. The Halloween truck attack that killed 8 and injured 12 was just the latest reminder that New York City has been the target of terrorist attacks for decades. The suspect name is Sayfullo Saipov. In court documents released earlier this week, investigators provided new details on items collected at the scene of the New York terror attack. They found a pellet gun and a paintball gun, 2 cell phones, and a black bag containing 3 knives. Investigators also found a wallet containing the suspect's driver's license. Investigators also found a stun gun on the floor of the rented truck and a document with Arabic and English text.
A man is found guilty in a deadly hit-and-run crash that occurred in front of Top Flight nightclub in 2014. Prosecutors say an anonymous tip they received about a month after the crash led them to the car and to Henry Lee Lynn. 2 Tallahassee police officers who were arresting someone outside the club that night heard the engine and a loud thump. Lynn was convicted of vehicular homicide and leaving the scene of an accident. Sentencing is set for next Monday, November 6th, and Lynn could face up to 60 years in prison. And the Tallahassee-Leon County Planning Department is holding a series of open forums where citizens can share their ideas for Frenchtown's growth and development. We have our very own Tyandra Slidell live in the studio with more information. Ty, what can you tell us?
Yes, Brea, the Tallahassee is conducting a meeting for residents to come out and share their opinions. The meetings will be held from November 1st to November 4th, and everybody can come out and say what they want the changes to be. Thank you, and that's it. Live in the studio, Tyandra Slidell.
The Leon County Sheriff's Office arrested 45-year-old Cameron Eustace. He is charged with grand theft, criminal mischief, resisting an officer without violence, and providing a false name to law enforcement. According to LCSO, Eustace left Dillard's department store in the Government Square Mall without paying for 28 pairs of jeans worth over $4,000. The suspect was able to run a short distance before being stopped by authorities. Multimedia journalist Amaya Mann finds out why some people support gun rights and their impact on our lives.
From dusk to dawn, underneath the I-10 overpass in Midway, Florida, empty gun shells cover the ground. And recreation begins. At the Talon Gun Range, fellow comrades gather for some friendly competition in a bowling pin match. Winner gets free ammunition. Military war vet Terry Blanchard tells us what shooting has done for him and how long he's been doing it.
Parents, they tell stories about us not having much money when we were young, and my dad would carry me on his back because I wasn't big enough to walk through the woods, and he'd set me down and shoot rabbits and squirrels, and we'd bring them back, and that's what they fed us.
Blanchard also says shooting has helped him manage his stress and teach him self-defense. But what about the negativity on protecting gun rights and allowing guns on college and university campuses in the wake of what some call a gun violence epidemic? Retiree Ken Carr gives his response.
Shooting is not bad. People with guns is not bad. The wrong people with guns and wrong people doing the wrong things is bad.
With the recent passing of a law that allows college students to carry guns on campuses, what will the impact be? Will this sport be seen just as that, a sport? Or will the impact be more serious? Live at Florida State University, Amaya Mann, TV 20.
The law that allows concealed weapons on college and university campuses in the state of Florida goes in effect in 2018.
Coming up, we'll be bringing you the latest in national news. Stay tuned. You're watching News 20 at 5.